just had a nurturing, fulfilling, and enlightening conversation around healing and the importance of body and community with folks from Soul Repair 360.
Conversations open the door, speak your truth, let it soar. Healing hearts, we want more. Conversations, that's the core.
Welcome to Soul Repair 360 Conversations.
Thank you.
We have a wonderful guest here with us today, Martha Potts, also known as Dr. BB.
Right.
That's how we know her. And I want to just share a little bit about her extraordinary background first before we get into some conversation with her. Dr. BB left a career at the Greater Cleveland RTA to pursue a doctorate in organizational behavior at Case Western Reserve University. Her research was conducted in Rwanda, Africa, which focused on human systems transformation. That sounds big and important. We can't wait to learn a little bit more about that. Upon completion of her travels, she worked in the nonprofit sector where her passions continue to evolve. She recently ended retirement to join Third Space Action Lab, which Danielle and I are absolute fans of. And she is the Awareness Building Manager. She's over the infamous REI, Racial Equity Institute training that so many people in Cleveland and beyond have now gone through to help raise our awareness about racism. She is currently immersed in understanding ways in which Gestalt theory can support and nurture the multidimensionality of Black identities, specifically female, male, non-binary Black youth, in a society in which systems, institutions, and policies are designed to disenfranchise them. I told y'all she won't disappoint. This is going to be an interesting conversation. So we are so glad that you are here on our show today.
Happy to be here. And I was really honored, that you would ask me to sit with you and have a conversation.
Yes, of course.
Conversations are transformative, right?
Absolutely.
They're the background, I feel like the backbone of our heritage. The things that we've learned, the things that we know, the things we pick up on comes from conversations in all of the places, right?
Yeah.
Where were we talking? Where do we hear grown folks talking? And things like that.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the nitty gritty of it, we do have some fun questions to ask. This is rapid fire.
Okay.
So don't think long. Just
Okay.
whatever comes to the top of mind for you. Do you want to start us off, Danielle?
I do. One's got to go. You know that game?
No.
I'm going to name 4 things.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, you have to kick off the list as in, it's got to go.
It's got to go.
It's got to go.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Right.
Fried chicken, mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, cornbread.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese?
Okay.
I'd like to have 2 go, but just one can go.
You good.
Okay.
Okay, hot comb memories, satin bonnet pride, coconut oil, or edge control.
Coconut oil.
Okay.
All right. Sunday naps, soul food leftovers, driveway or car chats, or an auntie playlist.
Oh. Yeah, Sunday
Soul
naps gotta
food?
go.
No naps on Sunday.
No naps on any day, really.
Okay. All right.
That was easy.
I do want to go back around once we get into it with the no naps. It just
Okay.
seemed like there was something with it there because I struggle with naps myself. All right.
Did you want to circle back to that?
Let's circle. Let's listen while we're here. Let's knock it on up. Tell me about my naps.
They just don't work for me. If I don't enjoy naps because they take something from me, like time, energy, and I feel a little, left a little lethargic after a nap. And I just think there's too much for me to do to take a nap. So I get my sleep at night.
Do you go to bed early?
Depends on if there's a basketball game or a
Okay.
baseball game or a football game on, or some series that I enjoy watching. But usually, I try to get to bed at least by 11 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel the same. A nap doesn't work for me because once I get it started, I can't get back up. Like, wait a minute. If my body says when I go down, let's go down. Let's be down.
Right.
Let's be down for that duration
I'm a
of
good
time.
napper.
Okay.
I take a good nap.
You take a good nap?
I can.
That just shows it takes all kinds,
True.
to make up the world.
Yeah, working from home helped me a lot to just be able to take a little 15-minute, lay my head down, get back up. Even if I don't fall asleep,
Well,
if I
that's,
just lay.
that's a power nap.
Yeah.
15 minutes. I don't know.
I
Yeah, I
usually
can do
don't
that.
fall asleep.
Can you?
I just lay there,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get back up and I feel refreshed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all, you're being okay. Y'all take y'all 15 minutes. Y'all will see me in about 5 hours.
Okay, this one is called Top 3 List.
Okay.
So you're going to tell us the top 3 things in the different categories that we give you. So this one is, what are your top 3 things in your emotional emergency kit?
Ooh. Conversation with my son. I practice Buddhism, so I chant. Some quiet time.
What does quiet time look like for you?
I can be busy, like doing dishes or reading a book. I don't need music or anything. Also, the thing that works for me is cleaning house. So
That's a dual purpose.
That can be very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about the act of accomplishing something that brings peace to our bodies.
And I'm good in silence. Some people can't tolerate silence. Like they have to have the TV on, they have to have music in the background, but I can be in the quiet and be just fine. And sometimes as an introvert, I need it. I just was on vacation and it was so much stimulation that I just needed, like, I was so happy that when my husband went to work, I finally had like total silence and quiet.
All right, I love it. Yeah, I don't mind silence because it's always a conversation in my head.
Exactly.
Plenty to entertain in there. Nobody interrupted. Hold on, somebody was talking.
Right.
Top 3 albums that helped you heal.
Well, I'll say maybe not necessarily heal, but were very important to me in my life's journey. One was, like, this goes way back, Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies, John Coltrane, A Love Supreme.
Yeah, you did go
Oh,
back.
bring it. But bring the quality. Why don't you?
Back.
Right. And Roy Ayers did a piece that, I can't remember the name of the album, but it was one of his most popular that my son always tells me that he remembers listening to it when he was a child. And so those are 3 that kind of like stick with me. I'm showing my age.
Listen, I have to go look up Roy.
We're going to look them up.
Okay, top 3 things.
Okay.
Top 3 things that feel like home to your soul.
Ooh. First thing I thought about was Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, come on.
The second thing would be a football game with my son. There's a lot of son stuff in here.
Yeah. Are we talking live or on TV?
On TV.
Okay.
We rarely go to a live sports event, but we do. But I enjoy just being in the living room watching TV with him, a sports event. And this is like a new development, like over the past maybe 3 years or so, and that is spending time with my extended family. So that's a whole story in and of itself in terms of, my own healing and understanding that the family needs to heal or has healing to do. And different people in the family are in different places in terms of their journey. Some are not on a journey of healing.
Come on.
And, but wanting to meet them where they are and embrace them. That would be what brings nurturing to my soul.
Yeah, that feels like home.
That feels like home.
What about them black-eyed peas? What about the black-eyed peas?
We got real deep. And then we always gonna ask about the food.
Right.
So like the
Right.
Go ahead.
My mama used to make black-eyed peas, and that's my favorite bean.
It's a good bean. It's
It is.
underrated. My goodness.
It's a good bean, and she made Hoppin' John on New Year's Day. That's come on, girl, come on. That's
Don't take my card. Just give me the
I'm
information.
not gonna take your card. That's just a minor infraction.
Okay.
Not a big deal.
Okay.
That's black-eyed peas and rice. That's called Hoppin' John. And folks back in the day used to have, and it was supposed to bring good luck for New Year's. And my mother's birthday was New Year's Day. And she would make sure she made black-eyed peas and cornbread and rice on New Year's Day.
Now make all of those things. Now I'm gonna call it Hoppin' John.
Google it. You'll find.
Does it have okra in it sometimes?
You can have okra in it.
Okay.
We do what
You've had
we
it
do.
before? Does it sound
I
familiar?
don't like okra, but I thought Hoppin' John had okra
Had
in
to,
it.
I mean, it was a rule that
Like
had
it
to
was
have.
part of what it was.
No, those rules come from the colonizer. So we
Come
make
on.
our own.
Come on
Okay.
with it. That's soul food. How you gonna tell me?
Right, it's not Hoppin' John unless you do this. No, that's not the
Okay.
way. That's not the way it works.
Hey,
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree with that.
Mhm.
Come on, this is gonna be a good conversation. I'm loving it already. Top 3 signs that you're doing better, even when you don't feel like it.
Whew. Waking up in the morning.
Come on. Yeah.
That's number one.
What specifically about how you're waking up?
I always feel a sense of like this is a new beginning when I wake up in the morning. So it matters what I did the day before. However, I get to start over again. So with a new day. So that's one. Well, I'm adding in the experience that we had. And so I haven't been really successful at it because of the way, changes that have taken place in my life since we left that retreat, that wonderful retreat in the mountains of Georgia.
Come on, we was in the Georgia mountains with a whole lot of melanin.
Right.
You gotta say that part though.
Right.
Because folks might think it's a different type of situation. Let's clarify. We wasn't just rando in the mountains.
Right. And not just melanin, but there were a lot of Black men in there too, which was really special. And I can say that I've never been in an environment with, first of all, a healing environment with all Black people, and then a healing environment with so many Black men who were doing their work and willing to be vulnerable and holding the space for themselves and others to do the same.
That's really good. That's really good because they were doing their work. They weren't there to start the work.
Right.
They were on the journey. So shout out to Judy and Sean, transformed our lives. Trickle effect. We out here in Cleveland making it happen. Embodiment Justice Retreat,
Right.
Cure, and
Right.
Sean's. What is Sean's group?
I don't remember, but you can be rolling. Is that what it is?
Listen, check the lower thirds. That's what my son call it. All of the info is right here. Everybody do like this. Do like this. All the info is right here. Lower thirds. It might be lower thirds. That's the last thing I paid attention to in the editing class. It was the lower thirds. But yeah, okay. So it sounds like maybe ritual, some sort of something that if you're engaging in rituals, that's a sign to you that you're doing better, maybe?
You know, so yes, and the fact that I haven't been able to pursue it the way that I'd like to. However, it is constantly on my mind that this is something I know that I need to do and I want to do in order to fulfill my promise to myself.
I'm wondering though, did I hear you say though, like the mindset, your mindset around it, like having your rituals present or the things that you want to do for yourself present, is that a sign to you that you're doing better? That you're thinking about?
Absolutely, absolutely. I went for a walk with one of my coworkers yesterday at Shaker Lakes.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
Yeah, because it's kind of internally difficult for me to get out into nature because that's not the way, you know, I was socialized by the colonizer, you know, back in the day.
Outdoors meant something else.
Outdoors, we didn't have an you know, our outdoors was in the projects, you know, so there was a little playground with swings and, but I don't think there was grass, there was asphalt. You know, so we lived in a high rise, I don't know, 13, 14 stories high. And the apartments were like square boxes for the rooms. So my parents moved up from Tennessee during the Great Migration and moved to Buffalo. So that's primarily where I spent most of my childhood, all of my childhood, really, actually.
So now you get to enjoy nature.
Now I get to challenge myself to go out into nature because it isn't something I'm naturally drawn to do, and it's not easy for me. I have to like push myself out there.
Did you enjoy the walk?
I did. And actually, my goal is to go back out there when I leave here. Just kind of walk a little bit.
Oh, I love that.
It is beautiful over there.
Mm-hmm.
And that nature center is wonderful too.
That's a great way to get back to. This idea of getting back to fill in the blank of whatever that is, that's always going to resonate with you when you can figure out what you've been longing for, that has always been a part of you, and trying to get back to that.
Or figure out what you need that you've been denied. You know, and allowing yourself the opportunity to experience those things.
I love that. It's a beautiful image.
That's good for you.
I want to just kind of emphasize the point you made about this narrative that's happening on the inside of us. I've often said that we are born bilingual and we're taught oral language, but we're not so often taught the language our body speaks. And unfortunately, it's not fair and it's not okay.
Right.
Things happen to us that are unnatural that really makes having that conversation difficult. So this journey to learn that language is always worthy.
I would say we've been socialized and maybe even colonized out of our bodies and, you know, made to or told that, you know, what's above the neck is the most important. That's the only thing that matters. You know, and so I think that it is a way of, you know, reorienting to the body is a way of decolonizing.
Come on. That's a powerful thing that we can do. It's a thing that we can do when we feel helpless, when we feel like our movement doesn't matter. There's an action we can take.
Like I heard systems, and when you talk about things being interconnected, one of the things that used to overwhelm me was how big the problems are. But when I had that aha that everything is interconnected, then whatever I do or one person does impacts the system,
Mhm.
And that's what I heard you describing. And that is simple but profound. Like it helps you
Empowering,
to not,
too.
it makes you not go over the edge. Like, okay, you know
Mhm.
what? I can be in my lane, be my very best self, and feel comfortable that that is going to do what it does. And that can be enough, Like, I don't have to. And that reminded me of your bio with Rwanda and human systems transformation, which
Right.
I would love for you to explain a little bit more, and if those two things have anything to do with each other with where you are in this season.
I started with a high school diploma. And, RTA, bless their hearts. So,
You always gotta bless them. Bless their hearts.
I worked with them and for them, for many years and they supported me while I, went through the process of getting my associate's degree, my bachelor's degree, my master's degree. And then I got accepted into the Ph.D. program at Case. I'm like, what am I gonna do? It's like I'm almost, I was a non-traditional student,
In what way?
older, a PhD student.
I don't want you to say it out loud to encourage anybody listening.
Older. I got a friend who's 70, just turned 73. She just got her PhD
Come on.
in gerontology.
Well, she was already there.
She was the, class expert.
I love that.
And so that's how I got to it. I didn't have an area of interest, and I was like, I don't, they accepted me, so I guess there's something I can do. And then at the end of my 2 years of coursework, I was looking for, what am I going to do? Some research on? Don't know. Mm-hmm. But one thing that they told me was, my colleagues in PhD programs had told me was, whatever you decide to study, make sure it's something that you feel passionate about, because there are more people who start a PhD program and don't finish than there are that start and do finish. And in order to finish, you need to really care about your subject. And so I was looking for a topic that I cared about, and I ran across this picture. It was just a color picture. It was a sea of jet black children, and there was one Scandinavian looking, white boy smack dab in the middle of them. And I looked at the picture. I didn't read the story associated with it. Went home, couldn't get the picture off my mind. Could not get that image out of my mind. What in the world is that? I went back, I read the story. It's about a philanthropist who was sponsoring Rwandan women, in business partnerships. And the women that were in business partnerships were women whose husbands had murdered the family members of the other women. So it was the Hutu women whose husbands were the perpetrators of the genocide, and they were in business partners with Tutsi women whose family members had been murdered by their husbands. So that's what I said. Wow. Yeah, let me. That's it. And so that's how I got there. But so I was looking to talk to them about, one thing, just to, when you make a decision, and whatever you believe, however you believe, but I believe the universe, girl, the door is open. Mm-hmm. What you need, here it is.
It is.
The only thing holding you back is you. Here's the path.
Make the decision. I'm hearing.
Make that decision. And so, found the organization. They introduced me to Tutsi woman who spoke English, who was the general director of the program. We started talking. She said, "Come on." I was like, "I'm on my way." And so that's how that took place. And so it wasn't so much, I was interested in their business partnerships, the women, but that's not what they were interested in talking to me about. So I was using a research methodology that's called grounded theory. Everything comes back to, it emergence, how important that is, and a lot of building opportunity or spaces where, emergence can occur. But the research methodology I used was grounded theory, and it allowed me to set aside what I wanted to see and what I thought was important to do research on, to what is it that they want me to see. And so what they showed me was, how the reconciliation was taking place in the country on multiple levels of system, the individual, the group, in the communities, and the country. And so that's what I ended up writing about.
Sounds like it changed you from the inside out. That whole
It
experience.
did. It did. It did. It did. It really did. And it was a very important piece in my own awareness of my Black self. It's like when I got there and I stepped onto the ground, and they put me in a SUV, and it's like I'm riding and the dirt is red, and I'm like, damn, this feels so familiar.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was home.
I want to just bring it back forward to understand how that experience shaped like this place where you are right now, where you see conversations as being a solution, or like what is it about that made you respond to this question around what season you're in right now?
Right. So it is the premise of grounded theory, like, to really just be in the environment to understand what people are thinking, and what is not necessarily what I think needs to be shared or explained, but it's what is it that they are saying. So just being open to tossing assumptions, biases, what I think about whatever the group is, and being able to have the ability to set that aside, to have an experience of people who are different than you.
I feel like the cultivation of that skill comes through humility, right? When you have been through something, or if you've seen a version of yourself that isn't something you're proud of, I think you make more space to hear the full story about who someone is, as opposed to trying to figure them out or figure out their story. And I feel like we struggle with it all the time. Not being able to be honest with the things that we sometimes put on others has to do with the struggles that we're having within ourselves.
I think I agree.
Dr. B, we could talk to you all day. I said, then we're going to do a part 2. We got to finish part 1 first. Can you, before you go, can you tell us, can you tell the folks who are listening, what you're working on and where they can find you if they want to hear more about any of the topics that you talked about or anything like that? What do you got going on?
Well, I'm still at third space, although I'm there on a part-time basis now because of the social climate. But we do still have racial equity and inclusion workshops, which are, like, I believe, a very important, not just tool for African Americans,
Absolutely.
but it's important for white folks, and
All
all
folks.
folks.
All the folks.
Yes.
Right, to really understand how this game works, and how it's been working and how we got into this mess. To be able to begin to understand how do we work ourselves out of it. That's one piece. The other piece is around, as we've been discussing, that it is the revolution is an inside job. It's, and if you're forgetting about the internal work, then you missed it. You didn't get the memo.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good right there.
Thanks for watching Soul Repair 360 Conversations. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us grow and reach more people who need this work. We're the soul sisters you don't want to have to talk to, but you're always glad you did.